Welcome to week 3 of Candidate Voices with 5051 Savannah, the series that brings you 5-minute interviews with candidates from Georgia's 1st Congressional District, U.S. House election 2026. We welcome any candidates running for this office who meet our mission of upholding the Constitution and ending executive overreach to join us. Each of our candidates receives the same question in advance. This is Robin with 5051 Savannah, here with our 4th week of Candidate Voices. I'm here with Randy Zurcher. Good to see you, Randy. Here's the question of the week. The Folkston ICE Processing Center has drawn criticisms for human rights violations and lack of oversight. What is your position on this expansion of private immigration detention facilities in Georgia, and how should immigration enforcement be handled in a way that reflects constitutional values and local impact?
Well, Robin, thanks again for having me and letting me talk to you all about this. I feel like before I can really address the question, I need to talk about a little bit about due process. To me, due process is what makes America America. It makes us the land of the free and the home of the brave. And what it is, it's a promise that no one, no matter who's in power, can take your life, your freedom, or your property without following fair, transparent rules. It started with the Magna Carta. It was written into our Bill of Rights in the Fifth Amendment. And then after the Civil War, the 14th Amendment made it binding on every state. What it means is that you get fair notice, you get a fair hearing, you get an impartial judge before the government can act against you. And again, that's any government that's in power. Without it, our rights are just paper that the powerful can tear up. With it, the law protects the people, not the other way around. Without due process, these ICE detainments that we've been seeing at Home Depots and other places like that are nothing but kidnappings, and they must end now. Having said that, I oppose further expansion of private for-profit immigration detention facilities in Georgia and everywhere else. Some things just shouldn't exist, and private prisons are one of those things. Their only product as a company is human imprisonment. More product means more profit. So they stuff as many products into the facility as they can get away with, pocket the profit, and then remove it from the economy. Startup costs are taxpayer funded. Operational costs are taxpayer funded. They don't need a sales or marketing budget because taxpayers pay ICE to do the sales for them. The company only needs to walk in, cut safety measures, food quality, and personnel training, to a bare minimum, scoop out what's left over from the municipal budget and put it into an offshore bank account. Where in this model is an incentive to reduce crime in the community? Is there an incentive instead to keep prisoners longer? Are communities being served by paying a handful of rich people to imprison our populace? Do these companies have an incentive to diminish recidivism? No, it's the opposite. The company must be fed prisoners to stay alive because they aren't providing a municipal service. They are a business. And as a business, their purpose is to make shareholders more profit, more money than they did the previous year. They are in business to make profit, full stop. I know of no private company that has to take an oath to the U.S. Constitution, but public servants do. If systemic constitutional violations are more profitable, you can guarantee that a private prison company is going to take their chances to make that money. Now, as I understand it, we have somewhere around 711 total detainees down in Folkston. Recent inspections and reporting show persistent violations of detention standards, medical neglect, and inadequate oversight, both at the Folkston facility and others. And these are problems that private contracts have failed to fix. We should halt all new expansions and contracts with private prison companies. We should require full transparency and independent monitoring of our existing facilities. And we should invest instead in community-based case management, legal services, and humane alternatives that respect due process and protect public safety. Now, I've heard some talk about, there's going to be all these great jobs down in Folkston if they do that expansion. Guess what? There will be jobs in Folkston, but they're not going to be great jobs. That company's going to pay you as little as they can get away with. Plus, these jobs sometimes dangerous, and a lot of times will require you to be inhumane to your fellow humans. And believe it or not, that takes a toll on your soul. So these are not great jobs. We can't swap economic development for our values. Jobs are vital, but not at the cost of human rights and our community's reputation. We need to invest instead in local healthcare, legal services, and broadband, sustainable jobs, and stop relying on private detention as an economic plan. Thanks again for this chance to talk. That's what I have for tonight. Please go to my website, randy4georgia.com. That's the number 4. And I will see y'all next time.
Thanks, Randy. See you next week.